Before we get started, a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to Warriors Today. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so right now. We're trying to get to 16,000 subscribers, so you can either hit that big red button down below or go to youtube.com/WarriorsTV. All right, let's get it. Welcome into Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. Big game for the Dubs tonight against the New Orleans Pelicans. Golden State currently in 9th place in the Western Conference, so in that play-in tournament if the season were to end today. And the New Orleans Pelicans a few games back in 11th place on the outside looking in. So a huge matchup for both squads as Golden State tries to stay in the playoff hunt and the New Orleans Pelicans trying to get into that conversation. Let's take a gander at the Western Conference playoff standings right now. Suns and Jazz locked up there in the 1 and 2 spots, followed by the Nuggets, Clippers, and Mavericks. The Lakers free-falling a little bit right now, followed by the Trailblazers, Grizzlies. There you see the Warriors, as well as the San Antonio Spurs and the Pelicans, 4 games back of Golden State entering this crucial matchup on Monday night. Warriors could be shorthanded. Kelly Oubre Jr. out because of a wrist injury. Damian Lee still out because of COVID-19 protocols. Eric Paschall not going to suit up as well. And Andrew Wiggins is questionable. If he does miss tonight's game, it would be the first game that he misses this season. I want to touch on Kelly Oubre Jr. because back a few weeks ago, he injured his wrist, and that injury has continued to be problematic for him. According to Shams, he actually has a torn ligament in his left wrist as well as a fractured palm. Sounds really painful, and he's been playing through this over the last couple of games. He's undergoing evaluations to determine the severity of the injury and what steps to take next, and he might try to play through this injury throughout the course of the rest of the regular season, but we'll see what the medical diagnosis is going to be on Kelly Oubre Jr. It's a shame because since coming back originally from that wrist injury, Oubre's come off the bench. He's played pretty well. In 3 of those games, he's averaged at least 19 points. He's been a little bit of a spark for that second unit. I actually think he figures better coming off the bench for Golden State than he does as a starter. Just don't think he is a starting caliber player in the NBA, especially for an NBA playoff team, which the Warriors hope to be next year if Oubre is in the Warriors' plans because he is set to be a free agent after this season. So you saw the injury right there. It kept Oubre out for a little while. He came back. Now it's hurting him again. Do you think Kelly Oubre Jr. is going to play again this season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in the comment section. Let's take a look at what the Warriors have done over the last 5 games. Big win over the Nuggets 2 weekends ago. Beat the Sacramento Kings as well. That disastrous loss against the Dallas Mavericks when they got absolutely drubbed. Lost by 30 points. Producer Sam Brown, Mavericks fan, loves it. Won't be as happy later when we get to the Mavericks later on in the show. Won against the Rockets after that loss against the Timberwolves. So some really bad losses there. And as for the Pelicans, they continue to just be Jekyll and Hyde. Loss against the Spurs, beat the Clippers, lost against the Nuggets, beat the Thunder, and beat the Timberwolves. So both the Warriors and the Pelicans, they are what they are. They've been around 500 this year, maybe a couple games under 500, depending on where they are at in this status of the season, but a big game nonetheless with playoff hopes at stake. Warriors going to have their hands full against Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, one of the best young duos in the league. Look, I know it's Warriors Today, but can we marvel real quick at what Zion Williamson is doing this year? His points per game is up to 27, and he is shooting almost 62% from the floor while he's not even shooting three-pointers. Half a three-point attempt per night. This dude has been absolutely special, and on the other hand, Brandon Ingram has been really good as well. As a 1-2 punch, numbers-wise, really good, a lot of potential, hasn't necessarily translated into wins for the New Orleans Pelicans. I think that's more of a coaching issue with Stan Van Gundy. That's a different conversation. Who you got tonight? Warriors on the road in the Big Easy. Type W if you have the Warriors, type P if you have the Pelicans. I'm going to go with the Warriors here. They're in need of a win. This would be a staple win. I think they're better than the Pelicans just because of the fact that they have who I think should be the MVP in Steph Curry. He's not going to win the MVP award because the Warriors as a team haven't been as good as some of the other teams that have MVP players like Nikola Jokic. I'm going to type my W for Warriors. Steph Curry is going to continue to be cooking. So from Thursday through Saturday here at Chat Sports, it was crazy. NFL Draft 2021, it was off the chain. We were live for every single round, every single pick. So when I got done work on Saturday night, I went home, smoked a cigar, had a little bit of whiskey, pulled up the NewsBreak app because I had no idea what was happening outside of the NFL world. The NewsBreak app, though, helped me catch up as to all of the current events happening in the world right now outside of football. You can do the same. Go to chatsports.com/WarriorsNB. Download the NewsBreak app today because on one single feed from all of your local news sources, you get your local news and weather, as well as your politics, pop culture, food, and entertainment, your sports content, and again, the big bonus here, all on one feed, and you can enter your zip code, which is a great feature. Also, another good feature, Warriors Today on the NewsBreak app. So you can either catch us here on YouTube, or you can get all of your latest Warriors news and rumors on the NewsBreak app. How do you find it? Very simple. Pull it up on your phone right here. You go to chatsports.com/WarriorsNB, search Warriors Today, and give us a follow. So once again, chatsports.com/WarriorsNB. Download the NewsBreak app. They're a big supporter of what we do on your iPhone or Android. While the Warriors have been a confusing team all season, Steph Curry has not been confusing at all, and he has been absolutely unbelievable. I think you can make the argument that this is Steph Curry's best season of his career, and I totally understand he won back-to-back MVPs in 2015 and 16. This dude's been lighting it up. So while the Warriors have been struggling, Steph Curry has been balling. 30-plus points in 15 of his last 17 games. We highlighted that month of April plenty of times. He's carried that into May. And my question for Dubs fans out there, where, honestly, would the Warriors be without Steph Curry? They would look like a G League team. They would look like the team last year that won, 10 games and picked number 2, where they got James Wiseman. They'd be a dreadful watch. But because of Steph Curry, they're in playoff contention, which is wild. And Steph Curry, he's the NBA scoring leader, averaging more than 31 points per game. That figure has continued to rise over the last couple of weeks. This is his career high in points per game. If the season were to end today, he's first in 40-point games. Steph Curry doing Steph Curry things. He's had 8 of those, and he is first in three-pointers made per game. Crazy. More than 5 three-pointers made for Steph Curry every single night. My gosh, it's epic proportions what this guy is doing. And Steve Kerr had some really fascinating things to say about his superstar and how his greatness rubs off on everybody else, not just players, but the entire organization as well as the coaches. It's just his approach. It's the joy that he brings every day, regardless of circumstances. He loves practice. He loves the work. He loves the routine, and that just sets the tone. If the leaders are setting a tone like that and there's a lot of joy in the room, then even when you're going through a season like this, like we are, hey, it's still fun. Steve Kerr also compared Steph Curry to Michael Jordan. Look, this isn't a LeBron MJ debate. He's comparing the process and the greatness of Steph Curry to MJ, so hold your horses there. He's reminding me of MJ in that you just get so used to the brilliance and the excellence. It sort of blends in with everything else. It just becomes routine. It's insane to say that because what you're watching is otherworldly, and yet you sort of begin to expect it. That's probably the purest sign of greatness. Couldn't have said it better myself. Is Steph Curry a gift to mankind? Type G for yes, he's a gift. Type G for yes, he's a gift. Yeah, type G because he is a gift to all of mankind, especially seeing what Steph Curry has done this year. 14 years since the We Believe Dubs. Pretty wild to think about, right? Let's see, 14 years ago, I was about 15 years old, and I still remember this squad from then because of the upset that they pulled off over the Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The first 8 seed to take down a 1 seed, and they did it in 6 games. Here's a look at that lineup. It was a special one. Baron Davis, Jason Richardson, Monte Ellis, Steven Jackson, and Al Harrington. Oracle during that series was rocking. That's what made me believe at 15 years old and realize that Warriors fans, some of the best, not just in the NBA, but all of sports. Producer Sam Brown from Dallas, he's in shambles, even though he was like 8 years old when that series happened. But let me know what your favorite memory of that series was. Leave the memory in the comment section below. It can be a few words. It can be a sentence. I'm going to go back and see what you guys come up with. I think the most notable memory of that run, Baron Davis yamming it on Andre Kirilenko. Subscribe to Warriors Today. Hey, for the reasons that I've always mentioned. Latest news and rumors, NBA draft prospect profiles. We're going to continue to cover the Warriors leading up to the NBA playoffs. Here on Warriors Today, we're providing you with the best Warriors coverage here on YouTube. So go to youtube.com/WarriorsTV or hit that big red button down below, and we appreciate you watching.